Well, hi, friends. Yes, Doc South with you. And, I did just recently a video saying how there should be, rather than tearing statues down, and, and I think it would be better to perhaps, number one, statues that are up, leave them up, but then also create other ones that are a little, there's so many things you could do. And I think it would be. I think rather. I think the world needs more statues rather than less. It also needs a little bit of a little less judging without having walked in that person's shoes as well. I would think, and not allowing for the times. But for the most part, statues do show the human journey, I think. And there are so many things you could do. I mean, honestly, even just off the top of my head, I wrote some down here, some ideas. But gosh, you could find a spot somewhere in the hills or some place where you could put together a caveman display, a statue of what people would have looked like back in the day doing their thing. And, it could be multiple statues gathered together. I don't think people, honestly, though, live there. There just aren't that many caves. Yeah, it'd be awful crowded in the cave if everybody alive, every human alive or humanoid alive, had to have a cave. There just aren't that many of them. The price of you think it's expensive in Los Angeles to buy a house? Yes. Well, I'm just saying, but you could make a caveman dwelling, a Neanderthals. Oh my gosh, you could have fun. A woods full of Neanderthals. And the nice thing is nowadays we know robotics, so you could have the Neanderthals doing things. Huh? Yeah. Wouldn't it be great to have you're walking through this, the sculpture area? Yeah, and all of a sudden a bunch of Neanderthals start chasing you down the path. Huh? Yeah. I mean, yeah, talk about an interesting statue. You, I don't know, but you could make a statue, an indoor statue of an old 1920s living room, or a living room or a room from the days of the Civil War, for instance. I mean, it could be a statue of some sort. I mean, I know they got these things in museums. Maybe that's where it would belong, such a statue. But you get the idea. Pickett's Charge. Honestly, when you go down to Gettysburg, you see the field, and maybe that's how it should be. But boy, I don't know. I think somewhere, maybe not at Gettysburg, but somewhere, there should be a way to. It would take an awful long time to build. There'd be a lot of sculptors put to work, but the horror of Pickett's Charge, and of course you have the North represented as well. It would be a very sobering insight into the horror of war. That was one awful battle. You could do Valley Forge, the Valley Forge encampment, and again, that could be done in statue form. It could be done. Here's one. Have you ever gone down to Natural Bridge, Virginia? Okay. If you go there, there's a path you can walk along, and you're going under the arch, the big arch there. And oddly enough, I didn't realize there's a highway on top of that arch. Yeah, all these years, it holds a doggone, semis are running by it. But down below, it's sort of like it was back. They've left it pretty much the same. But there's a spot where George Washington actually carved his initials in the wall. By the way, you're not allowed to carve your initials there anymore. But wouldn't it be kind of fun to have a statue of George Washington, standing on a stump or something, carving his initials into that wall? I think that'd be kind of cool. Let's see. You could do the interior of an old kitchen from colonial days, right? I mean, that could be done. How about King Kong going up the side of the Empire State Building? I mean, I think they did it with a balloon, right? But you could do it nowadays. I know you could make a lightweight enough King Kong could withstand the weather, and there he is, you know, or he's reaching in an apartment building to for Fay Ray, you know, yeah. I mean that'd be great. All sorts of well, you could have somewhere out in the middle of a field a giant TV, huh? Yeah, well, at a state park or something, and you know, it shows old some of the early TV shows, and you all just sit around like you're at a drive-in, but it's this big old RCA TV. I mean, I would think what a great advertisement for the television industry, right? Or a big fat radio, you know, like the old-fashioned ones that were huge, the size of a chest of drawers, some of them. And again, you could sit around, have a picnic, and the radio is playing, but it'd be a big radio. You could hear it, you know, from 8 miles away. I don't know, maybe have a certain DJ playing some tunes on it. Yeah, my hands up. Let's see, Godzilla. Godzilla ripping apart the, I don't know, maybe some bridge. I mean, you could have him down at the Golden Gate Bridge, tearing on the, ripping on the, or attacking the bridge. Better yet, oh man, that would clear out rush hour. You actually could make a statue that kind of floated in the water looking like it's walking for the bridge. Huh? Yeah. I mean, it could be done. It could be, I'm sure it could. Just put your best minds on it. And this one I think would be really cool. You could make a motorized drifting statue of Huck Finn and Jim from Mark Twain's Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. They could be floating down the Mississippi. And when they get to a certain point, maybe they go from whatever town they started in, they float for the day, and then at night the statue of the raft and Jim gets pulled back. And there they are fishing and singing and stuff, right? Let's see, a running locomotive in a field. You know, just, in fact, you could take a big field and make a Lionel train set, but it's a big one. You know, like they used to have, but real big. I mean, acres, I'm saying. And you could walk amongst it. Only it would be outside, maybe under cover, so, you know, didn't get, so you could go on rainy days. I mean, again, and what could be better? And maybe you could even make the trains a little bigger than normal, so it really stands out. I'm again just saying, a canal boat at an incline. You know, around here there used to be a canal, and I think somewhere the canal went, I think, from Jersey City to Easton, or actually no, I think Phillipsburg, New Jersey. Yeah, Phillipsburg, New Jersey, and it had. I say recreate the canal, and you know, again, more as a work of art. Maybe you could ride in the water, go up the incline, and you know, go through a lock and all that. That'd be all right, and it could be done. It could be done. I think a lot of the canal, where the canal ran is, I assume you could build. I'm assuming you could. Maybe not everywhere, but some places. You have a tour bus take you from one point. If there's a spot where you can't get through, okay, tour bus. Everybody hop in. Or you could have a motorized canal boat take you, you know, take you to the next stop. Let's see, a John Wayne wagon train going across the plains. Again, it could, nowadays with robotics, it could actually move. Maybe you could even get on the Conestoga, right? Yeah, and you have some outlaws chase you down the road, down the trail. Let's see. City street scenes. I mean, like in New York City, there's got to be a way you could take some of the old buildings and maybe with live actors, you recreate like they do in Williamsburg, Virginia. Right, same thing. You could have monuments saying at this spot in 1956, the Chester, New Jersey Little League team finally beat Mendham. The Mendham Little League team. Stuff like that, little monuments where, again, nothing serious happened. Just, on this spot back in 1956, no, it'd have to be back in this day in 1949, Doc South ate his first White Castle. Yes. See? Yeah, yeah. There's there's just so many things. I, I don't. You could be doing this forever, and it would keep. I think it would be nice statues. People, who's going to get sore? Right. And of course, now and then you get someone from history. You do a statue of them. Nothing wrong with that. I would probably gladly pose for a nice statue of me staring into the rising sun, wearing a loincloth, holding a cheeseburger in my hand, and staring into the future. Huh? Yeah. Well, I mean, I'd be glad to consider it. How about an old-fashioned car show? You actually make a living statue of a car show. It could be done. It could be done. There's so much that could be done. I would say get on it. How could it hurt? My opinion. I would think about it, and that way you've got, lots of just neat things that happened in the past. There'd probably be a way to immortalize the Tuskegee Airmen with perhaps, I don't know quite how you do it, but you probably could do something where they're climbing out of airplanes, or getting into them, or maybe maybe that'd be something where they could reenact the flights, and keep the airplanes in good shape. I don't know, maybe. Um, there's so much that could be done. And there's so much history that could be, reclaimed. I still love the idea of, in the various city streets, in cities throughout the nation, you could have the local, the group that say, well, like John, I know I said this the other day, but Johnny Maestro, doing, he and the Crest pretty much started singing on somewhere near the Brooklyn Bridge on the Manhattan side. You make wherever that spot was, wherever that corner was, you make a statue and you actually play the music that they sang. It could be, you can certainly find the music, and it would be entertaining. You could, and you know, I guess in merry old England, you could probably have some kind of recreation of the Beatles back in the day, when they were just starting out. Um, it, Joan Baez, maybe over at Big Sur, she's sitting on a log somewhere singing a song, playing her guitar. Yeah, again, just a thought, and don't make it all hoity-toity. Just plain simple statues, and have a ball, looking at uh, people as they were back in the day, the real deal. Anyway, just a thought. I'll see you later, friends. Thank you, and God bless. Bye now.